Every business wants good customer reviews. Every customer wants a good experience. So what happens when both sides click? Or in some cases, when they don't? From Yelp and Entrepreneur Media, this is Behind the Review.
Behind the review, dig deeper too. Behind the review, get all the news. Food, flowers, fixing, make business boom. Behind the review, dig deeper too.
I'm Emily Washkovic, Yelp small business expert. Every episode, I pick one review on Yelp and talk to the entrepreneur and the reviewer about the story and business lessons behind their interaction. Let's see what's behind this week's review.
I was going to Zion in a couple of weeks and realized that my hiking boots were broken or I needed some new ones. And I was like, well, what better time to get new hiking boots is in a business in an area that really needs the commerce and everything happening there. So we went there. The gentleman who helped us was just like really kind. Everybody was really kind.
That's Sheena telling me about Alpenglow Sports, a shop in Tahoe City, California. They specialize in equipment for outdoor recreation, from Nordic skiing to rock climbing. Having originally stopped by to find a new pair of hiking boots, Alpenglow's exceptional service stood out to Sheena. Let's hear what she had to say in her review.
Had a great experience dropping in on this little gem. I had been needing some new hiking boots and the staff here was great. Gave great advice, was attentive to my requirements, and ultimately helped me find the best solution for me. Everyone was delightful. Thank you.
I love how this review gets straight to the point and perfectly encapsulates the personality of Alpenglow. Tahoe City, where the shop is located, is largely visitor-based, drawn in by the mountain and surfing prospects of the area. With roots in this town that have historically revolved around recreation, Alpenglow has a unique, friendly charm to it. Brendan, the shop's owner, can really articulate it best.
We occupy the ground level of a building that was built in the 1940s, one of the oldest buildings in Tahoe City. And accordingly, it's a building that has been many different things, from a brothel to a grocery store to different retail shops, a drugstore in the past. It has a rich history, and you can tell that just by looking at the building. It's not a modern building. It's very rustic and fitting in the sense of existing in the mountains. But when you walk in, it's the classic mountain feel of wood floors and wood walls and unique old fixtures for both skis and apparel. And, we like to think that the building has its own soul from all the people, good people who have worked at Alpenglow for nearly as long as I've been alive.
Although he grew up on the East Coast, Brendan's desire to experience a nomadic outdoor lifestyle led him to Tahoe City. It's clear that his personal connection and love for the region translates well into how he conducts his business.
I had always wanted to experience that a ski bum or dirtbag dream, whatever you want to call it, when I was in my early to mid 20s. And really, I think that's what kids should be doing, unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something professional. Like, it's hard to know who you really are when you're that young. I always wanted to move west and experience that lifestyle, even if it was just for one winter. The reality now is it's been almost 20, and I came and never left.
While living this dream of his, Brendan stumbled upon Alpenglow, which was at the time under different management. What initially caught his attention, though, was the same friendliness and compassion that left a deep impression on Sheena.
I was drawn to the store because of the culture. When I came inside of the store before I worked here, everyone was welcoming and helpful, and at a time when I didn't know anything about the area or these sports, they were very open and welcoming. And then, progressively I had to work, like you can only ski bum for so long. So I started working a little more part-time to full-time, and then I became a buyer and then became a manager. And then ultimately the timing just aligned where my boss, who was a mentor in my life, was ready to retire. And he felt strongly about passing it on to someone like myself. And, we pulled out all the stops to make it work.
Brendan came to Tahoe to experience that carefree West Coast lifestyle. But as the years passed and Alpenglow became a more and more ingrained part of his life, it felt natural for him to take over ownership when his mentor retired. And ownership is a whole other beast. It comes with a lot of responsibilities. and stressors. But Brendan was up to the task, and he learned and evolved along the way.
There's a lot of reward in personal growth and challenge. And, like I say, building something that benefits other people, both your staff and your community. And the numbers, which admittedly I'm not the greatest at. I've had to get my self-taught MBA and a self-taught marketing degree, but that's the joy of small business. It's true entrepreneurship, and it's sink or swim. So you figure it out or you fail, and the stakes are high every year, regardless of your first year in business or your 40th.
For local businesses, it's important to cultivate a healthy work environment for both employees and customers. Sure, having a great product is key, but a great culture can make or break your business. What Alpenglow does so well is build relationships. And as a business owner, Brendan is determined to continue fostering that same consumer-focused culture that drew him there in the first place.
Alpenglow's always been about the people. I'm lucky enough to be a second owner, but I just consider myself a steward of this business that when I moved here as a ski bum from the East Coast, fresh out of college, there were people here that took me under their wing and showed me what it meant to get to the trailhead at 5 a.m. and put the skin track in for the rest of the community. So that permeates everything that I do. I always tell people that this place has had amazing people. I would say it's unique. Of course, I'm biased, but to have a store be around for this long with this kind of reputation speaks to the quality of people that are attracted to working here.
Brendan's mindset carries through to every aspect of the business, including hiring. When it comes to potential employees, being able to build meaningful relationships is key. And this quality is what keeps Alpenglow's company culture consistent.
If I ask someone in the interview process, what's their description of helping someone? If they don't get it right, I don't care what their CV is. And, if they're a guide or have tons of experience, if it's obvious that they're not interested in helping other people, they're not hired. That's not a perfect science either. But, then it comes back to my staff, 2 of which I've worked with for my entire tenure here. So both were hired around the same time. And the 3 of us have grown into this kind of management trio over almost 20 years. So I'm tremendously lucky that between the 3 of us, we've been able to facilitate a company culture that shows everyone that we are here to help people. Because if we don't, well, what are we really doing this for?
Brendan also gave me some insights into how he trains his staff.
I start my training with our staff with a podcast. It's a TED Talk, a radio hour, but the topic is TED I Say. He created StoryCorps, which is a popular NPR interview kind of show where you might sit down with your grandmother and ask her some very pointed questions and dig a little deeper into who she is as a person and that kind of thing. But in any case, the intro of this podcast talks about building bridges of understanding between people from vastly different backgrounds and experiences. That's what we like to do every day. Like I say, we don't think of ourselves as salespeople. We want to connect with people on a human level. We do want to know what they're experiencing in their life and their adventures. That's why we have a low turnover rate in our staff. And that's why I think people enjoy working here, because it is a little different approach.
Investing in the well-being and training of employees has clearly paid off for Brendan's team. When Sheena visited Alpenglow to find a new pair of boots, she was particularly impressed by how knowledgeable the employee who helped her was, and how he gave her tips on what shoes to choose based on the occasion and what she'd be using them for. More importantly, she felt like he was prioritizing her needs and not just the sale. Sometimes little details like these are what create a stronger relationship between the business and consumer.
I think gets really frustrating sometimes as a customer is, and I wouldn't say this is always my experience with small businesses, it's any business. They want to maybe steer you towards the higher priced item instead of actually hearing you out for what you're looking for. And I think that's what was really lovely, is that he didn't try to make me buy something. It was what is truly right for your needs now and in the future.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll hear from Brendan on how Alpenglow connects with the larger Tahoe community. This podcast is brought to you by State Farm. Being a small business owner can be so fulfilling, rewarding, and let's be honest, a little scary from time to time. Doing your own thing and being your own boss is great, but sometimes it can make you feel like you are all alone, especially when things aren't going great. Well, the folks at State Farm want you to know that you aren't alone. State Farm has thousands of agents who are small business owners too, so they know what it takes to protect everything you've worked so hard for. State Farm has an assortment of insurance policies for small businesses that can be tailored to your needs. So whether you're a hairstylist, an electrician, or a florist, State Farm agents are ready to help. Learn more and find an agent today at statefarm.com/small business. Again, that's statefarm.com/small business. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And we're back. Alpenglow is all about creating a special retail experience for customers. But beyond that, its unique geographic location allows the business to serve a more educational role in the community.
We exist in a recreational destination that's known around the world. But really, when it comes to our business approach, we like to say that we have a community-facing business model. So whether it's someone who's come here for 40 to 50 years of their life as a second homeowner, or someone who's visiting from Florida, the reality is everyone comes to a mountain town for scenic beauty and most likely to recreate, regardless of season. So we remind our staff that we get to live here and do that on a daily basis. And when someone walks through our door and wants to share in that, that's a great honor for us. We think of ourselves as educators and facilitators, not salespeople, and getting people kitted out and informed of conditions and safe and fun places to go was very rewarding.
Something I love about Alpenglow is its involvement in the community. Rather than focusing just on improving the shop, Brendan uses his business's platform to fundraise and connect with others who share the same interest in outdoor recreation. His outreach efforts reach everyone from local ski enthusiasts to out-of-state visitors and aims to uplift the community by giving back to local nonprofits.
I'd say the best example of our business model is something that we call the Alpenglow Sports Winter Speaker Series. Now it's a 16-year-old event. We get 5 of the biggest names in the adventure space, climbers, skiers, snowboarders, all with kind of a human-powered story. And these are big names: Lynn Hill, Jeremy Jones, Tommy Caldwell. And we have them give a free show to the community, and their sponsors donate prizes, and we pick 5 local nonprofits, 1 per show for the season. The crowd, whether it's a ski bum like I was back in 2003, living in their car, can come and enjoy it and win a pair of skis, or, a 1%er, a Bay Area tech CEO, can come and, again, celebrate that shared passion of adventure and adventure storytelling. And you can feel the energy in the room. It's unique. It's special. And that is our single best event in terms of the experience and the give back. Everyone gets inspired and motivated. And then we raise a boat ton of money for some local nonprofits, which makes our community and people's lives better.
Even with all of the positive relationships that Alpenglow has cultivated over the years, a business can never please everyone. Here's Brendan sharing his outlook on reviews and the importance of being compassionate when interacting with customers.
When I see an Alpenglow sticker on a car that I don't recognize, it makes me a little emotional. If we get a bad review, that hurts too, But look, negative reviews are just opportunities in disguise, right? So if you reach out to that person and say, hey, if we blew it, let's make it right. We're happy to admit fault, and we're not perfect. And someone could be having a bad day, just like, someone comes in the shop and might be gruff or short or whatever. But if we treat them with compassion, they might, you don't know, their parent could have cancer or something. So the same goes for negative reviews. Like if you reach out to that person and say, hey, can we talk about this offline? We're happy to make it right for you. And if we blew it, our bad, but give us another chance. And it's just an opportunity in disguise. Like, I don't think you can read reviews that are negative and lose your mind. And then you can't get too high when you get a great review. It's just kind of comes with the territory.
Sheena, who has worked in the restaurant industry, has seen both sides of the customer service interaction. And while it's understandable for reviewers to comment on their best and worst experiences, it's also important for both sides to step back and grant some leeway.
I think for other reviewers, if they have a bad experience, I would encourage them to say, like, first, like, open your eyes and your ears about what's going on around you in that business and understand the struggles, or try to, like, whatever you're seeing and hearing. And it's not about you. It's not all about you a lot of times. Like, I think that a lot of people sometimes enter a restaurant, for example, and I mean, I've been snapped at, I've been told all these things, well, you're here to serve me. It's like, well, yes, but I'm a human being as well.
To close off, here's Brendan again, sharing more of his perspective on reviews.
Reviews tend to either be 5-star, 1-star, right? Like, that's no secret. But it's nice as well because it does make a little bit of accountability in your life, where we wouldn't not be on point if there weren't Yelp reviews or whatever, or ratings in general. But it does make you extra motivated to be stoked because, like, I don't know who helped Sheena, but someone did, and someone did a good job, and that's the result. And I think you just have to try your best every day and train your staff well and try to run a good company, and usually it works out.
And that concludes our episode. Be sure to subscribe so you get new episodes every Thursday. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to take a thing or two away to implement in your own life. Whether it's a new idea that you can bring back to your business or a fresh perspective on how to be a positive influence as a consumer, we share these stories to inspire and create more meaningful connections in your local community. For more information about today's business or to connect with me, check out the show notes.
Behind the review, dig deeper too. Behind the review, get all the news. Food, flowers, fixing, make business boom. Behind the review, dig deeper too.
This episode featured conversations with Brendan Madigan, owner of Alpenglow, as well as Sheena, a reviewer who visits Tahoe City. Special thanks to Elisa Gao, who helped write this episode. To learn more, check out the blog post. And don't forget to subscribe so you get an alert each Thursday when a new episode comes out. To claim your own Yelp business page and start engaging with consumers, visit business.yelp.com. And for those listeners who might want to try Yelp ads, we have a special offer. Use code BTRPOD300 to get started today. That's BTRPOD300 to get started today. And a $300 upfront credit will be applied instantly. Charges apply once credit is used. Cannot be combined with other offers. Any unused credit expires 90 days from date of acceptance. Eligible businesses only. Subject to Yelp's master advertising terms. Our theme song is performed by Ali Schwartz and produced by Robbie G of Messerol Sound. The show was produced and edited by Entrepreneur Media.